Hero from very far. I am siding slightly with Quincy in this draft, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from here on this one as well. Wraith King, it feels like we saw a lot of him early in the patch, and we've kind of gone on over to a couple of other cores.
The hero's good, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Wraith King as a hero, and I think this is the, like I was mentioning with Ancient Apparition for a reason, it's a good combo. Wait, okay, into the high ground, there's a massive impale here. Skitter, your smoke got revealed, just walked in. First blood, of course, for Quincy crew, they even give it to Quinn. They tip Skitter. I mean, one thing I gotta commend him for is that is one courageous Wraith King, dude.
I feel like they were like...
Reincarnation is a mental state, my friend. It's not a skill.
They definitely weren't expecting all 5 heroes to be there by the looks of it. That was just like a full confidence move. It was a full YOLO. That was the equivalent of a rush B strategy, I think as close as I've seen it in Dota 2. That was divide, rush true, B. Okay, we smoked. We're through the smoke, and everyone just gets blasted by one man holding a Negev on B platform. So yeah, that's first time I've seen, well, we see it every now and then, but of course Tundra, they just got to shake this one off right away. They can't afford to let that one linger on the mind in an all-important game number 3. LOA now it looks like he'll be killed off. Cold Feet will proc kill goes on over to Fata. So some small recompense there, but of course Quinn getting the first blood bonus, and even of course the mental warfare game starting early on with those tips onto Skitter.
Well, at least they evened this out, but the advantage here, of course, on Quinn, that first blood is going to help him considerable out in this lane. And he's going to go for the build that we've seen Limp do as well. That crosses Kid level 1 to just outlast it, whatever it is on the enemy side, and prevent them from harassing you too much. I like this very much by Quinn. I mean, he is, I think reluctantly, but he is a Viper player. He does not like playing, as he's told us in an interview before. Yeah, Viper's got to stop spinning, were the words he said. But he does like... He does like the hero, or he does know how to play the hero well.
I'm hoping that he goes, you spoke of Limp earlier, and I'll give him a bit more praise, as well as quote a Reddit comments that was actually a pretty good one. Because a lot of people, when they play the Viper, not so much on the professional scene, they think of him as like this early game monster, and that's definitely true when you go for like the regular DOT build. But that's not how you really want to be playing it. The comment, wisely showed, hey, this is how you build Viper if you want to scale into the late game. You have to go for this Eye of Scotty, be more of your classic right clicker than to rely and play more around just your laning prowess.
Yep, I agree. I feel like Limp and CCNC both do this because they're used to also playing like because they play the hero so much, and in the case of Quinn, very often it's like a pseudo win condition for the team. They often play dual core with Yawar with some sort of fast carry, like the Luna, for example, on Yawar, and so building scaling is important. I think this game, you can totally scale and be useful. Against Wraith, against DK, the only issue you really have is Lina, and even then, the lane is not that bad. Once you max the Corrosive Skin, later on in the game, you're going to be pretty A-okay against her, even against the Ancient Apparition. And you have a good game where Tide can build pipe easily.
Yep, you do. Absolutely here for Lelis, who's not going to struggle too much into the skeletons. His only kind of scary moment is going to be into this Wraith Fire Blast Cold Feet combo. But again, we've got MSS here, level 1 already, with the Fire Spirits that are going to slow these attacks coming through from Skitter and Fata alike to make sure that Leslau can just continue playing the lane. Not bad at all, 5-1 compared to the 7-6. So Skitter definitely getting his fair share of denies, and more than his fair share, I would say.
In the bottom lane, Yawar is not having great results as 3-3 is managing to annoy him and cut the lanes pretty accordingly. And SVG unfortunately is not great help for this lane. I talked about how great Luna is with the range support thanks to the Lunar Blessing, but Nyx is not that support. No. I think that they had to put the Phoenix top to deal with the Wraithing. I agree with that choice, but this did put the Luna in a more precarious position.
Yep. Absolutely here. Quinn's got this water bottle, so although 9 has gotten a good amount of harass in here with the Dragon Slaves, etc., he's not going to be able to too easily go for a kill here. Minute 6 is when I expect to see rotations from the supports here. So 9 and Quinn now going at it. Six stick charges, though, for Quinn are going to keep him nice and topped off, as now he's going to go ahead and start using a bit more of the regen he has available to him. Snaking. Start on
mid lane, Quinn.
Oh, they're going again.
Quinn. Oh, he actually gonna kill 9. Just gonna poison to death. Look at that. Quinn taking a page out of the European Monarch strat and just poisoning Lina to death. No chance for her to come back into lane just yet. She's gonna have to TP back. Bottle was completely expended as well. Huge win for Quinn because he should be able to secure runes now with this.
Bottom, Yawar getting right-click down by 33, LOA with a stun in 4 more seconds. They're not going to be able to get a kill out of this, but some good harass damage here onto the Luna, who's now all out of regen after that last tango. Got a couple that LOA can at least share on over to her to get her topped up. They are sparring again over the mid lane rune. Rotation's on the way from MSS. He's level 2. There's the Icarus dive in, but the kill's going to come first here in favor of 9. Kill in return split here by Quinn and MSS alike.
Well played by 9, right? Just acknowledging they had to go and get the kill on Quinn there, because Quinn was being a bit too greedy trying to take those both bottle runes. They needed to rotate MSS maybe a bit sooner for that to be protected. But regardless, it's a small win for Tundra just because of the fact that they get the experience out of that kill, and it evens out a bit what happened earlier. I still think Quinn is quite happy with how this lane is going, however.
Yeah, and I think Lelis doesn't really mind this 1v1 with the Wraith King. I think he's a little bit more scared of the Wraith King when the AA is around and hovering in the lane. You can see now he's confident enough to just go ahead and skip the wave, as he'll pull the creep wave back on over. So that's a consequence of the rotation of the Phoenix. Snake King taking a bit of damage here, but he's just going to be able to flutter and fly away on the Wyvern. Really defensive build here on Snake King on the position 4 Wyvern, in terms of the items anyway. Magic Stick, Headdress, and the Infused Raindrops, all really just to be able to stick around as long as he can here. They're going to go again for Yawar. More promising this time around, but with the stun, they won't be able to quite find him. Another kill onto Quinn, though, in the mid lane. Fata and Lina this time working together for that one, and the triple tip out from Tundra to try and press his nerves a bit.
We'll see. As the 1k lead by Tundra is very different from the last game where Quincy crew did dominate the lanes quite nicely. They haven't been able to do the same thing this time. Despite the good mid lane that they had, the Luna has been crushed a bit by this DK. Not the greatest support to combine this, and Lelis going for a more aggressive build on the Anchor Smash didn't allow him to be completely free as I imagined. I thought maybe the Cracking Shell build was a bit better, but this build allows him to be a bit more aggressive. Skitter has not been really denied whatsoever in terms of form.
No, he is not. LOA at least able to snag away the bottle refill rune here for 9, so that's going to force him all the way back home and free up a bit of space for Quinn, who picks up the power rune. Illusion rune for him might let him push a little bit here. Even will get a D ward going. So they're going to fortify, and yeah, Quinn is probably going to pop this regen here just to tank the tower a bit more if needed.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's definitely a bit of a weakness here for Quincy crew, is that they don't have the best natural push. You cut waves real nicely with this lineup for sure, in between the Viper and the other green man, the Watermelon himself, Lelis, on the Tidehunter, as Snake King is easily able to TP away. But when it comes to actual tower damage, they do struggle.
What, on Quincy Crew's lineup, you mean?
Yeah, for direct tower damage. Early on, anyway. Early on.
Yeah.
Late game, Luna, of course, is a complete monster.
Yeah, and once you get the shard on Quinn, similar idea. But you're right, you're right. You don't have the push that DK can offer. Hell, even the skeletons on the Wraith King are pretty good at pushing, just casually. You're right. So you can't control the map in that way, you're just trying to look for kills early, which is very similar to last game in that sense. In fact, you find 9 here, and 9 is just an easy kill here for Quincy. They're going to let him die to the poison. SVG still trying to find Fata. Fata, the poison is not going to take him down enough, so they will have to settle for the kill in the mid laner, but that's all they needed. And now Lelis, since he's free against the Wraith King, can just completely fight him 1v1 and put him in a pickle. The Hooded Defiance, Lelis is not going to die anytime soon.
Fata is going to be scouted here. LOA's got the Impale. He's going to connect onto it. That'll trigger the Icarus dive. Level 3 Fire Spirits here. Fata, he's going to get the Cold Feet to proc, but after he dies at an earlier point in Mana Burn, I want to say, from LOA at level 4, is going to be used for the kill. Skitter, of course, saving onto that skill points after losing 2 of his own heroes in the jungle. It's not really too tempting of a place to go, but no longer really enjoying this 1v1 matchup versus the Tidehunter. I wonder where he's going to end up going here. DD rune spawns top. Quinn's going to pick it up.
Yeah, not a chance. Fata was just glanced at the rune there for a second. In fact, Fata should know where Quinn is going, avoid this trajectory completely. As Quinn is in full murder mode, now taking the enemy stacks on top of that. Is going to go for the Boots of Travel we talked about with Limp as well, right? So the scaling build to some degree. Because I honestly think that Viper can be a really useful core. all throughout the game. There's never a point where Viper's going to become too weak. You have some really, really solid matchups, especially if you deny the Lina as you've been doing until now.
Yeah, for sure. Quinn's going to scout that ward. A bit unfortunate for Fata. Cold Feet should proc here, so they are TPing some friends on in to help get a kill. No, actually, this will not proc. Apologies. 33 even, I think, TP'd in, maybe thinking that something would happen there. Snaking as well was trying to rotate from behind, but LOA was going to make that one impossible. I mean, it's kind of... It's a little wild, isn't it? We are already playing here on Quincy Crew as if we've taken both the top and the mid-tier 1 tower, just so invasive in the enemy jungle, planting wards, getting now 3 kills in this jungle in the past 3 minutes, and both these towers are actually still alive.
Money to burn.
Feels like early on, though, this support combo of the Ancient Apparition and the Wyvern, just without the ultimates, are unable to repel these invaders.
Yeah, I agree. And this comes to... they're not even really able to get the counter kills needed, right? Like, you have some decent initiation and good save on these both heroes, but as I was talking about, I see this from Tundra all the time. They don't really want to play these burst damage heroes on snaking, or they haven't at least this whole tournament. And they might need to consider it, because this makes it so much more difficult for them to control Quincy Crew's movement. Quincy Crew doesn't matter if they have map control or not, they just go in wherever they please. 3-3. Look at that Supernova straight in his face, looking for the Viper Strike as well. And that Viper Strike should slow him down enough. The GG tree still gets stunned. 3-3, trying to deny the vision there, but not going to work out for him.
Yep, LOA again. I mean, we haven't been able to even get this D ward down as Quincy putting that Observer down well after. Nice bit of spike. Carapace going to proc. It's only a level 1 Carapace, though. Very, very short stun. So he'll still end up dropping to the legs of Skitter. Fanta able to defend the top wave here. But Lelis, already completing the Hooded Defiance, is not going to be, too scared of anything. He's going to walk right up to Skitter, farm all the skeletons, and actually, because of course Anchor Smash is physical damage, clear the golems as well. Well, this is, again, playing an awesome game. It's surprising. I mean, 3 Viper picks in a row for Quincy Crew. They lost game 1 on it, won game 2 with the Lelis Viper, but they flex it back on over to the mid lane here in this game for Quinn to allow Lelis instead to get a good matchup on this Tidehunter. Smoke play now coming through from Tundra as they'll gather around the tier 2 tower. Look for some sort of play here. We are now having at least the Winter's Curse available for snaking.
Let's see. Smoke. Find MSS perhaps? Oh, he's just breaking the smoke at the end. He still has the spirits and the Acre staff. I don't think he's going to die here.
He's totally
bunch of wasted time because you smoked with your carry. Because, I mean, you know that Lina has to recover, and you know 3-3 needs to be pushing towers because you smoked with your carry. A bunch of wasted time for poor Wraith King. And now Quincy Crew can take advantage of that by your Ward sticking a tower by himself, continues to farm in the safest of lanes. You're swapping jungles, sort of, but you haven't been able to take tier 1 bottom nor the tier 1 mid, despite having a DK. So the swapping jungles is slightly dangerous, and Quincy Crew could even be able to punish this.
Top tower is under attack.
Well, then they go. Again, we've like you've said, we've yet to be able to really apply too much tower pressure, despite having the DK over on the side of Tundra. So now into the jungle, into the dire jungle goes Quincy Crew. Kind of just, again, really comfortable to fight around here. Still smoked up, holding on to Ravage. Lelis in a good position here to catch anyone who's grouped up and trying to repel these invaders. But looks like Quincy now have eyes for this tier 1 tower. Going with BOTs. And actually with 33, perhaps now the target. Snaking though above. He's going to be into the fog of war. Ice Blast incoming now from Fata as well. Good damage onto LOA. They'll be able to burst him at the very least. And simultaneously save 33 from a potential slow but costly death.
Okay, good kill on the tower here. Sorry, good kill on the next assassin. If they can take a tower as a result, it evens it out. But Tundra's already planned this.
And that's BOT's finish now for Arlena as she botsed into this tower to be able to defend it. Quinn, I think he's in kill mode.
She's trying to scale. She's trying to scale herself then. And trying to, like, saying, I'm going to die a bunch this game. BOTs will be almost like a Midas for me, so that kind of works out. Fata in the top lane, Quinn. Just looking for this.
There's a counterplay coming now. So that Ice Blast is
the Ice Blast hit Quinn already. And 9 coming in. They hit it with the Ice Strike Array as well. 9 uses the Laguna Blade. Quinn might just die there right before the Ice Blast ends, but as a result, 9 could be in trouble. It's only SVG, however, and that Cold Embrace will keep it nice and happy. They even blocked his way with the Happy Tree, which means that's going to be 2 kills going the way of Tundra. Only losing the Ancient Apparition, most importantly, killing Quinn there. Big, big deal.
Yeah, they just really read that quite nicely. I think the rotations were fairly preemptive. They did at the time have an observer ward here, which scouted his initial movement on up, and of course, with one hero showing in the lanes, who is a very juicy and tempting kill, they knew that they had the counterplay at the ready. So nice job there, just kind of, you know, getting into the mind of Quinn and killing the killer, so to speak. In the meantime, unfortunately, Lelis is not as lucky in the mid lane. He's at least got an immense amount of farm here for an offlaner. Pretty respectable amount. He's 730. Almost has the Blink Dagger already.
Oof, that was close. And trying to just cancel line wherever he goes, right? Quinn is mirroring his movements, knowing he can just initiate, and he's much safer. I mean, yeah, he got caught out there top. Okay, this happens. Mostly, you trying to mirror the Lina's movements and canceling your farm is an important idea. That way, you don't have a space creator. Lina's always an easy kill for Quincy crew. Even without something like a clockwork, Nyx can just fulfill that role. Is that word to block? That Nyx,
it will block the camp, yeah. For the most part, a lot of the EU teams, Tundra included, but I've seen this both from Alliance and Secret, like having vision over this secret shop area. For the most part, the EU teams will ward like right in the middle, usually cutting down the tree as well to give the most vision. I haven't seen this one before from our EU teams.
Well, Baka. Let's go, Gosh. Kill him with the Vendetta there. Gosh, actually boost his VG though, will die as a result. Actually, never mind. Vendetta's PR, my bad. Winter's Curse has been used on Lilith. He still has the Ravage though, so you don't want to group up near him, and Sunray will keep him healthy. Another way that you can counter the Curse, by the way, if you don't have the Supernova, which you did, but if you feel like you don't need to use the Supernova, you want to, you don't have it, you can just Sunray and pretty much keep Lilith alive. I don't think they want to use Ravage before Skitter loses his first life, but with a poison attack, Skitter is just going to die. Ravage is still available. There's a Supernova. Lelis using the Ravage perfectly, zoning out the rest of the enemy team, and guaranteeing the kill on Skitter. Congratulations, Quincy. Yeah, but it's still worthwhile for the carry kill, honestly. You took the Reincarnation level 1, which is also a huge cooldown. You defended your towers. You took a tower as well.
Oh yeah, I agree. It was just 4 ultimates, right? Quincy, they're not messing around. They've already got the tier 1 top. They've got the tier 1 middle. They're in no position, neither team, to be honest, are in any position to look for a Roshan fight. So yeah, why not use the ultimates? What are you going to use, Ravage for farming or Eclipse for farming? Absolutely not. Those are fighting abilities, and well, that's the best fight you could muster here until these come back off cooldown. I fully support the move.
Now you say that, but then you watch Hector play Luna, and he's like, oh, Eclipse is a farming ability. Tell him. What else? It hits the heroes like 4 times, that's nothing. It hits creeps forever. 4 hits is enough to kill any creep on the map. It's genius. And someone's writing that down.
Hector's taking...
But honestly, Yawar, I think, has been doing a pretty good job of vacuum farming with Mask
hiding in the river, though. Yeah, he picked up the rune. LOA needs a little bit more for the kill. And down he goes. Takes down to the poison damage of Quinn. LOA ought to die here, though. It looks like he's going to shatter to the Ice Blast. The fire out from 33. Will secure that 1 kill.
These haphazard fights are very difficult for 9 to play around. Like, his Lina is actually recovering nicely. That's the smart choice of the Boots of Travel, and even the Yule Scepter. He's not going to go for BKB. I'm presuming it'll be the physical damage to Lina as he flexes a bit later into the game. But it's just so difficult when the Viper can just run at you, Titan can just run at you. The Luna honestly can do the same. You have nothing to survive that except for Light Strike arraying them and hoping for the best.
Quinn is going to go next into the Sange. Nearly has enough money for it already. It'll make him a touch more tankier, annoying to deal with. There's an Ice Blast that is going to be used. Looks like to scout Roshan, perhaps cut away, but it's going to be a bit late, so we're not going to release it. As Yawar, unlike the Luna of Game 1 for Skitter, does decide to go into the Mask of Madness, but still deciding that Dragon Lance into most likely the Manta Styler is a worthwhile investment here for the Luna. Of course, Game 1, I would say Skitter's decision to skip the Mask of Madness and pick up the BKB earlier was potentially a game-winning decision, as the Drow Ranger of Yawar just wasn't ready to fight. Here, of course, Yawar is just getting so much free farm that he's going to be quite confident that no matter if he goes for the scaling build, he's not going to be too pressured early on in the game. Ice Blast, though, will scout Roshan.
Okay. Can they fight this? I don't think so, right? The Winter Wyvern's a bit too far off. Yeah, I don't think they want to either. They realize it's not really worth it. The first stage is also not going to do as much. You just take a couple tier 2s. Sunray that Ice Blast damage away.
Yep.
Is it going to be the Holy Locket build in MSS? No, it's Spirit Vest. No, Jeffer build.
Not yet, anyway. Not yet. Speaking of Holy Locket, we already have one completed for Snaking. Next, doubling back into the Glimmer Cape. I believe what was it, LOA who was playing the Winter Wyvern game number 1 also, or game number 2 deciding against the Holy Locket. First item instead going for the Glimmer Cape. Rotating around through the trees, looking to try and find Snaking. The Snaking with some simple but effective jukes, just giving a little bit of a runaround. Some misconnections here above where the top tier 1 tower used to stand.
SVG's like, he was never there, guys. He was never there. I would have just found him. Meanwhile, Snaking laughing to himself. I like the Glimmer Cape build yet again this game, but I do think the Holy Lock has much more value. Right? There's not like it's not like Cold Embrace sets up for any massive amount of damage. Sure, you can burst someone down with Eclipse, right? Or you can keep them another Toxin and proceed to poison attack them, but it's not going to be guaranteed.
Yeah.
Especially because Quinn is going for more of a physical damage build with Sergeant Yasha now.
I would say the healing is definitely very worth it, because this time, compared to I want to say the last time we saw the Wyvern, it was like only Agi cores, whereas now we have the DK and the Wraith King, both of whom are going to benefit greatly from that additional percentage-based heal. But you still set yourself up for like some problems, right? Like a free Anchor Smash, which is going to be especially punishing to a hero with a crit. Fanta trying to TP you away. We're not going to use Ravage for this, though, so they'll just let him leave.
Yeah, it's not worth it. There's the huge advantage of a support, right? Where you're playing 5, you're like, well, I'm not going to use an ultimate to kill me. And if they do, then you all chat it. Ultis for me, lol.
Yep, yep.
And that's the biggest, that's what really hurts. You're going to see a Shard soon on Fata, so he'll have some more utility here to push out lanes and everything. Right now, he's really just nice blessed.
He is a walking
as the
cold
Montestel,
nice blast.
As the Montestel gets finished on Yawar and SMY on Viper, I'm expecting... honestly, a smoke soon for Quincy once you get these 2 items.
He's been scouted. Oh, he's blinked away in the trees. Eloy's going to have to guess where he's at. And unfortunately, he blinks into a pocket. Got to know your trees here, Quincy crew. They will not be able to scout him out.
That's a good short blink. That was a good short blink. I don't think you're going to guess that on Nyx either. Well, at least not easily. The double fluffy hat build on Nyx. No mobility, unfortunately, yet. The issues of playing a 5 Nyx.
We've almost got this Radiance completed for Skidder, though. He's about 1,000 gold away, just needs the recipe with the Relic already on the Courier, returning from its trip over on the Secret Trap. Quincy, though, they're going to go ahead and smoke up and potentially look for what could be a very damaging fight. Looking to reset the progress. Oh, they've scouted the Relic on the Courier here. It's up to LOA if he wants to try and decide to break it here and go for the kill, but they're actually using the Courier's vision. Now Leslau is going to turn and kill it. They've got Ravage. They're holding onto it for now because it's just Skidder that they found underneath the tier 2 tower. Snaking, though, his own Courier is going to snuff him out or scout him out as well here. The ultimate Courier betrayals. Ultimately, though, the smoke is going to be fruitful or fruitless as they're not able to find anyone. Fata hiding in the trees, has TP.
Fata hang out again. Will LOA find him? He will not.
Quinn's in trouble.
At the TP? Or is 3-3 in trouble? Quinn has Aegis, dude. 3-3's in trouble. What's better, a walking dragon or a flying dragon? Clearly, honestly. Quinn just destroys the DK. They can even catch someone else in the bottom lane. 9. Oh no, he's not getting away this time. No matter how much movement speed you have, 9's out of mana now. Yule's the illusion. That must feel bad. We have Lucent Beam in a second. Mask Command is stopping it. There's the Lucent Beam. And that will be yet another kill on this poor Lina.
Yeah, I mean, not only did they get that kill, but they were still, you know, recovering, regrouping from the fight top. Quinn and Lelis were getting to kill mid lane, and they were so confident that they had the time to cancel that kill. We even used Vendetta, or used the auto attack damage out from Vendetta, which has been sped up significantly, I should add. So it's a lot easier and more secure to go for those types of plays. But they just knew they had these kills. I mean, Quincy crew with this first Aegis. Yeah, you're right. It's not the worst thing in the world here for Tundra, but the way Quincy are playing around it, the confidence that it's given them to make these rotations around the map are just giving them such a big lead now here.
Yep. But we're getting to the point where Tundra's going to start to be able to play this game just by Radiance, right? Even though the Curry kill and that delayed it a bit, you're going to get that Radiance soon enough, and then Tundra might be able to make a couple of plays. Like, 9 is still not under farm, despite how much he's dying. That's Boots of Travel really paying off. He's getting close to those BKB, sorry. That plus Radiance, I imagine you should be able to take a couple of fights. Yeah, it's dangerous against Ravage. It's not going to be the easiest of fights, and of course you have to wait out that Aegis, but it's certainly possible. Maybe you, instead of trying to force fights, you wait for the enemy team to come at you, you fight in your area, and then as you progress, you're very confident in your Wraith game being a bit stronger than the Luna in the late game, if you can just get close to her, of course.
That's the big if, isn't it? Because we still have quite a few heroes you got to get through, as Aegis is reclaimed there on Quinn. Lawless on the Tidehunter with Blink, and actually going back for the Pipe of Insights is going to help his team out quite a bit here, because this Radiance is about to be online. He's got the recipe delivered. There it is. Now he just needs the Relic. We're going to smoke immediately here from Tundra, because they know that Aegis has been reclaimed. Again, difficult, but I think if they can get a jump here and now and start the fight off 5v4, it would behoove them greatly.
Yeah, again, like I said, it's a bit dangerous against the... He's like, I'm done. Well, there's so many creeps, guys. What am I supposed to just let them go? I'm a carry. So Skitter has to take those creeps, lose the smoke. Again, I feel like the smoke is a good idea if you can get a pick off, but not a good idea if you want to force the fight. Because Ravage is still strong.
In perfect position. Tundra, with respect, though, they know that Quincy crew are going to be waiting right in perfect positioning. You know, you don't want to ever push up this double staircase, you know, because it's 2 levels of terrain up. If you can avoid it, especially versus all the AoE that Quincy crew are having. Flashbacks perhaps to First Blood when they just 5-man charged right up the hill and all died for it. Oh, patience here on this one here out from both sides. Second smoke.
Second smoke, trying to do the wraparound. This might just work out.
Thought the smoke breaks.
But no. Oh, MSS, honestly. His positioning has been awesome here. Yep, they can't go in. Or maybe Tundra is going into a trap. We'll see. They stun SVG, Skitter. They wanted to lead, of course. There's the Ravage. Can they take Skitter's first life? It's not going to be too difficult. He's perma-stun 9. Acting that BKB. As Skitter has been left behind. Viper's just spinning onto him. There's still the Supernova. Sure, they lost the Tide, but they get Skitter in return. Definitely a win for Quincy as they continue onwards, hoping for Fata. That's going to be 2 easy kills going the way of Quincy crew. That did end up being a trap. Like I said, forcing the 5-on-5 against a Ravage. Maybe not the wisest of choices. They had to do something, but I think that was a bit hasty of a move.
I agree. I could see like the calculations behind that move, why they thought it was a good idea. They just ran out of Aegis, you know. We have Blink on DK, who's really strong. We still have Winter's Curse to counter-initiate. This is a great place to fight around. We planted a ward, and they had picked up a DD rune there on Skitter. They just weren't really all on the same page. It felt snaking. I'm not really sure where he was. He zoned out a little bit too much, I think, by that Ravage to be able to counter-initiate properly. And Quincy, for the most part, in that fight, they kind of just stood a little bit south of where that Ravage was. They weren't going to be able to, they weren't going to set themselves up here for snaking to try and counter-initiate there. So just good positioning from Quincy, good patience, and they knew that Tundra, you know, if they went up the first time, would have been overextending, and even with the DD rune, they were just as overextended.
Yep. They know what a team wants to do when they're behind. Like I said, they're always really good at guiding teams into the wrong plays. And trapping is the name of the game for them. They've been doing a really good job here. Like, Tundra did get into their power spike, you could say, but the problem of getting into this power spike is that their movements become so obvious because you don't have enough map control to surprise an enemy team. Even though I think the flank was a good idea, that was a flank for a pickoff, not a flank for a 5-on-5.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
We'll get that. Yeah.
That's a really good way.
Now as Laz gets that Aghanims, it's going to be very difficult for them to push these lanes any further, especially if 9 dies here.
Yeah,
he does the BKB.
Oh, that's punishing though.
Not too bad.
Roche is going to be up in 30 seconds, Avo. That's not amazing, and by then we're going to have all the teamfight ultimates. 33 trying to TP away, but it's actually going to be Yawar who completes his TP and immediately stuns up the Dragon Knight, who is trying to split push. Second hero dead for 44 seconds. Roche now back in 15. All the ultimates up by then, and no BKB, no DK for the next 35-40 seconds.
Is there a way that you could kill Tide first in these fights, or ignore that Ravage? I don't know. The BKB is not going to come on time for Skitter.
I think we need to commit a lot for it, though, is the problem, right? Like, I think we need to, one, keep him stunned, because we don't have any ways of silencing him in this game. So it's got to be like an LSA into a Dragon Tail, or you know, some iteration of that, into Ice Blast, into Laguna. That's a lot of damage, and by then, what stops Quinn, what stops Yawar from then going, oh, you used everything to kill our Ravage, we still have Supernova and LOA, who's probably wrapping around to get a stun and kill you. Like, it's just, it feels so difficult.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Right now, I mean, these Ravages have been amazing out from Lelis, but I wouldn't say that's the reason they're winning these fights. It's mostly just Quincy being in the right positions.
That is true. But maybe if you force him on a fight like this one, this might be your opportunity. They go for fun. Another great Ravage, though. That's going to take away your chances like this snaking. There's the dust onto him. He's not going to be able to Glimmer Cape himself to safety. 3-3 won't die to this, so at least it's only the 2 supports. Unless 3-3. Okay, they go to the high ground. Yawar
Look at
Quite
this.
courageous, not afraid of this anymore.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Quincy, you can see they play the fight very differently for when they know the Winter Wyvern's alive and could potentially turn and curse them compared to when the Wyvern's dead. They immediately all funnel together and they go up high ground. They almost hold hands and continue charging basically after the DK. As soon as the buyback is there, they're not even risking it. They're not wasting any time whatsoever. As they're just going to go ahead and grab the outpost and abscond to safety here. Again, only utilizing the Ravage out from that. At the end of the day, only killing both supports, but forcing a lot of reactions out from the likes of Tundra.
Now it's all about the Roshan. The Ravage is not up, so there is a chance for Tundra here to take the Roshan. I mean, they can't go for it first, but they could somehow punish it. This is now when you try to flank and take a 5-on-5. This would be a good idea here. This smoke would be a good option, but it's so difficult without the map control. You don't know where Quincy is. If they're in the triangle, they might still be able to win the fight, as you said, because their positioning is so solid. We're soon to have a Scotty on Quinn. I think the moves by Tundra are the best they can do, given their position, but Quincy's a really hard team to beat when you're from behind.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. They just really don't like making mistakes, and when they do, they always, it seems like, have a plan B, you know, for a second after they kind of got wiped last game, for example, only to then buy back on their 3 cores and end the game. You know, it feels so difficult, and now they're just going to go straight for Roshan. Ice Blast is at the ready, but there's just no way for them to contest it in time. Second Rosh ought to be going the way here towards Quincy for free.
Well, it seemed like they were expecting this on Tundra, like they were just taking this Roshan so quickly. It's gonna be Shard, probably given to the Luna the Viper.
Luna.
It's Luna, okay. Yep, more damage for this Luna, who's now 6k ahead of the Wraith King. Like, no matter how good the Wraith King can be in the late game matchup, because Skitter has less map control, you just can't farm as efficiently as a Luna. In general, you don't farm as fast as a Luna, even with Radiant. And no matter what core-to-core matchup you had, that 6k lead puts you always ahead of Wraith King. You even have good high ground.
Another issue that Tundra are really having right now is Quinn's itemization is just really damn good. You know, much like Limps yesterday, it might even be the exact same build. I can't quite claim to remember Limps off the top of my head, but now they've got this Eye of Scotty completed, it allows Yawar to go for a little bit more of a luxury item being the Butterfly before going for the Scotty, because we still have that great attack speed slow on him to really punish the Lina, kite out the DK. In comes the Ice Blast now. Yawar is going to go ahead and definitely dodge it, as will Quinn. Fortify is through now. Yawar taking a fair amount of damage from the tower, but just needs to spend a little bit of time in the sun here to be able to heat the one back up. Rotations on back. Leslau. He's got Ags already, so that's got that AoE gush slowing 33 to a crawl. He's going to turn and hit him with a ranged Dragon Form stun. Leslau, another blink in 6 more seconds. We'll chase him into the trees. What do you reckon? Is this worth a Ravage here, Avo?
I mean, yeah, if you can kill him, sure, go ahead.
No,
but I don't think the Ravage will be a guaranteed kill, so there's no point in using it.
Well,
I mean, with the Gush, you can just completely... Like, that's why I like the Axe build. Brax does this as well when he was playing on... I mean, any team he's played. He loves actually Axe first time on Tide. And it's just... You can push a lane so quickly, it's very difficult for Tundra to de-push this way. And for them to gain space that way. But now they know the Tide is bottom, so there might be a chance for Tundra to go in. Like, you can't get rid of the Ravage, just get rid of the Tide like this. Skitter, okay, no, it's 3-3, walking in for Yawar. There's the Ice Blast on top of that. Forced to have him out of the Ice Blast range. He still has the H, by the way. Winter's Curse stops SVG, but those Glaives almost killed 3-3 and Skitter. They actually do murder Skitter. They use the Cold Embrace to save 3-3. He will survive for now. Again, Yawar still in possession of the Aegis. We still have potential Ravage. There's the Aegis taken away. Used a fair amount of resources for that Aegis. Super now just to protect Yawar so he can retreat. Not too bad a fight for Tundra, all things considered.
I would say pretty good. I mean, they lose the first life, they lose Reincarnation in exchange for Aegis, so now they're both even. But I think that was just the result of Lelis not being able to get back into the team fight fast enough, and Tundra capitalizing off of that. We've seen last fight when Lelis is able to get the jump in off these Blink Ravage initiations, and that was even before the Aghanim Scepter, applying this huge AoE of minus armor and move speed that, of course, Yawar is going to absolutely love. Go to Cold Embrace there. Really, really well played by Snake King. Patient, super patient all game. I want to say that's the first curse we've seen. Am I correct in that? I don't know.
We've seen a couple before.
Okay. I'm completely wrong then. Oh, it was the first really good curse, and it'll net him a kill here.
Oh, the first solid curse, yeah, but they have used it, I think, once or twice before. And near the Roche, but I recall.
Okay.
I'm mistaken. Maybe we've seen 3 Winter Wyverns, so maybe.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Wyvern today. It's been basically always picked up in some form. 33 Nice little split push out from him. Once again, probably blinking into the trees. Is able to escape. That's Aegis, though. Reclaimed.
The problem with a curse like that is what we saw the Glaze. If the cold feet had not triggered there on Luna, that was both your cores dead in the middle of Winter's Curse, dude. That shouldn't happen, you know? That's the difficulty of using the curse on the Luna. Those Glaives will keep on bouncing. You have to have really good positioning here on Tundra. You can't really re-engage in these fights. And it just seems to be getting worse and worse because you don't have a way to recover either. Despite how good your late game might or might not be, it seems like Lina might be your win condition now more than Wraith King because of her ease to get farm thanks to the Boots of Travel and the BKB.
Yeah, it's not like an Alina, again, this is something that teams have really wisened up to, especially at this level of play. They're not going to let 9 just play all around the map looking to split push. They've got a Nyx Assassin here to punish her if she were looking to do that, for example, and a couple of other heroes with BOTs to immediately follow up and get that kill. So it's not like 9 could, you know, really be looking to play this game like a Puck or an Ember would, because it's not easy for him here on the Lina.
Exactly, yeah. You can get caught out relatively easily as well, despite your BKB. You even died a bunch before, right? So they're not gonna let you do this, but you're also the best candidate to do so. Who else can do it? The Winter Wyvern to some degree, maybe the DK by sacrificing himself like he did last game.
You really need Wyvern though in these fights for the counter initiation. It's just too strong of a spell versus 2 agi right clickers like the Luna and the Viper. So it's possible, but a difficult decision to make here.
SVG. Okay, this is an odd smoke by Tundra. I think they smoke to retreat. No, they want to counter initiate. There's the Impale. Winter's Curse this time used, but not going to help very much, honestly. Quincy seems fine. The Ravage, which will kill Fata unnecessary. 3-3 will avoid it with a BKB. A really odd Ravage as well by Quincy crew. In the end, Fata's the only death they have there. Okay.
That's about the reaction here that Fata has. Really odd spell usage, I would say, all around, to be honest. The Winter's Curse, when I thought we were going to have a little bit more damage, I think 33 wasn't quite expecting it from the way he was positioned. It was only onto the Nyx Assassin as well, so yeah. And then the Sunray, of course, from outside to keep him healed, but they found 9.
Oh,
Quincy crew just wrapping around are able to end his life in a matter of seconds. Couldn't even get the BKB off if he had it available. Great find there.
9 did the greedy TP there. He thought, oh, I'll go bottom, I'll push 2 lanes at once, I can get away with this. You cannot. Not against Quincy. They're waiting for these kills, because, yeah, they can go high ground, of course, but until you have something to condition you to go high ground, you don't have an Aegis on top, why would you even try? Why would you not keep on pushing, killing enemy heroes, making sure they can't really farm too much, and play this as safe as possible?
Quinn on the prowl. Does not manage to land the attack in time, unfortunately. So 33 with another
why he's denying the creeps, though. Oh, right. This is the epitome of choking the enemy. Like, you don't even care about the lanes are pushed, you just want them to deny farm, so Quinn actually denied the creeps in the lane. You don't usually see this in the late game stages, because you'd rather let lane be pushed for more vision.
I think, did we buy out? Yeah, it looks like we did buy out for this Blink Dagger now. So Skitter, with a Blink, able to reach the back lines a little bit easier. Still a little longer duration BKB at 7 seconds. Is not going to be too unhappy with that.
Is under attack.
BKB duration here for 33, up to 8 seconds after his last engagement. Just waiting for the Lina to respawn here, and they may look to smoke yet again. Roche, the fastest respawn possible in 1 minute from exactly right now. So I think both teams are probably just going to look to farm, but Quincy happy to do so when they've got the basically entirety of the map to continue farming away. Tundra are just left with whatever scraps trickle into the base.
Tundra going for another attempt here, trying to play around the ward. Skitter started leading. They catch poor snaking behind. That's your Winter's Curse down. Ooh, no. They has buyback, it's true, but you still have Ravage, so can you buyback in Winter's Curse in time? We'll see.
Yeah, didn't use much for that either at the end of the day, simply just the Vendetta, but 100% useful for setting up for a kill onto the Winter Wyvern like that. So now the high ground defense begins versus the Luna.
I wonder if you go here for the... Quinn still has no shard, by the way. He hasn't really concerned himself for this. He's just really a carry at this point. You are playing this super safely. There's no Aegis on him. Why would you give your advantage here? Just for a couple of measly racks. The illusion's already doing the trick here.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, okay. Skitter walks in. Wanna kill Quinn, but there's the Ravage. Still too many BKBs, but they caught 9. And that's gonna be sufficient. 9's dead. Winter's Curse does nothing as the BKB from Quinn saves him from attacking his teammate. Aeon Disc has been triggered. He's perfectly fine, as you said. There's a secondary rise thanks to the refresher. Fata might just die to the glaives. Okay, Fata. That's Selena racks down.
The good news is you can buy back on this Lina and still be impactful. You didn't at least pop BKB and then die immediately to the glaives, but it is not looking like a tempting situation. With very little choice, though, 9 is going to have to go for it. That will get Quincy away from the tier 4 towers at the very least, but it's probably going to send him directly into the Roche pit. And again, Quincy still in a great position to fight thanks to the mid-fight refresher on Tidehunter. And checking in on what Roche has, it's just the Aghanim's Blessing. Probably the luckier for Tundra is what I should say, because I don't think they lived through 3 Ravages this game.
No, it's not gonna. I mean, they barely lived through 1. It's not even that Ravage is that important, right? Lelis understands that you don't have to catch like a 5-man Ravage. It's really just catching 9, and then you reduce the attack damage from Tundra so hard. There's an Axe now on this Roshan, which will be given probably to. I'm not really sure, actually. Do you give it to Yawar just because he wanted to attack himself?
Vision there by MSS.
Okay,
He'll hold it on to the... Oh, no, just like for first blood into the choke point. Now the Ravage to follow up. They've already nuked through 33 without buyback. The first life taken away from Skitter as well, who's just going to BKB in an attempt to TP out. They lack the damage here. Long-range Icarus dive out from MSS just to be able to scout 9 and slow him a touch. Les Lau now jumping forward, again looking to slow him as much as possible, but 3 stacks of Fiery Souls on top of the BOTs will be able to get 9 to safety.
Quincy crew, I think this is time to finish the game. Tundra has maybe 1 more team fight left in them. There has to be a Miracle Winter's Curse here by snaking. I think the Winter's Curse can only be used on a Luna, really, at this point. Anything else? Oh, they even get a leveler. That's it. Ice Frog is like, end the game, please. Just finish it for him. It's over.
Looks like Tundra, they've at least managed to find themselves a telescope, so that item here onto the Wyvern does give you a little bit easier. It makes the curses a bit easier.
It has to be a Miracle Curse, man. I'm telling you, it has to be a Miracle Curse. Just the perfect curse on the Luna, ideally murder her in the beginning of the fight, hope that Ravage is not too impactful there, by activating the BKBs in time.
As well here with the Aghanim Scepter Eclipse, can just put that one onto LOA. One of the biggest differences it makes is that even if the Eclipsed unit dies, the Eclipse will not end as compared to the regular on Aghanim Sceptered version of the ability. So you can really just send in one of your supports to go ham with it. Same thing here for the Phoenix. Icarus dive and cast the Eclipse to look to break into the high ground.
He even went for the mini stun this time. So last time we actually saw Skitter not going for the mini stun, instead went for the lifesteals, despite going for Ags. This time he's like, you know, might as well use the Ags. It's pretty much perma-stun someone. Anyone on the enemy team. He won't be able to activate BKB with us. I think the lean is the target for sure as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Quincy might be tempted to wait the 30 seconds to have double ulti ready to go here for Lelis on the Ravage. He's got it ready to go normally, just needs another 20 seconds. Sorry, he's got the refresher ready to go, but he just needs another 20 seconds for the Ravage itself to come off of cooldown. Oh, double stun there. There's going to be the Eclipse. They've immediately blown up 9. He doesn't have buyback. There's the first life gone already as they're going to set up quickly nukes through Skitter on the second. Yawar up onto the high ground. He is going to be hit with the Winter's Curse here into the Ice Blast with the BKB, keeping him at odds as his own illusions doing most of the damage. There's now the Ravage out from Lelis, #1. Hit him with a second as well as they will crumble. GG is called by Fata as Quincy crew just storm into the base and take the series 2-1. They're going to have the rematch versus T1 in the second round of the upper brackets.
Alright, congratulations to Quincy crew. I said it, I thought that Tundra was looking like a really strong team, but not quite the level of Quincy crew. They could totally take a game, and these games were definitely even, but we saw game number 2 and game number 3 go in the way of Quincy crew. I also predicted